Well, rapper Nicki Minaj made a surprise appearance at a gathering of conservatives in Arizona. The rap star was interviewed at Turning Point USA's America Fest convention by Erika Kirk, the widow of Charlie Kirk, about her newfound support for Trump, despite having slammed him in the past.
The utmost respect and admiration for our president. He has, I don't know if he even knows this, but he's given so many people hope that there's a chance to beat the bad guys and to win and to do it with your head held high and your integrity intact. He's from Queens, New York, like me. So, but what it's shown me personally is sometimes, even in the worst feeling times in your life, you think that you're never going to come back from it, but you do. And our president shows that he's been through every single thing a person could be through publicly, having to constantly be lied on. It's not really that funny until you are in that person's shoes that's being lied on. You'll never understand what it feels like. That person is a human being. They have a family who has to read those lies. And that's not, and it's just not fair.
We want to bring in our panel tonight so that they can weigh in about these speeches that we just heard. Mr. Bolden, how does rhetoric like this move from conference stage to parts of everyday life?
Well, we need to go back to the height of ignorance again. Guys, why should I care what Nicki Minaj thinks? I mean, she's wealthy and an entertainer, but she's a rap artist. She doesn't understand politics. But again, the height of ignorance, because when she talks about Donald Trump, he's been through everything. Yeah. He was charged with 40 felonies, right? He's been found liable for sexual assault. The criminal cases were dismissed because he won, but those were some pretty strong criminal cases, and he drives that narrative. But the comparative analysis she did was about, this is really great, Avis. This is great. That he's been lied on and how hurtful that is to him and his family. You know how you know when Donald Trump is lying? When he opened his mouth. Almost 90% every time he opens his mouth, he's lying. And has a history of lying, not paying vendors, bankruptcies, lying to stay in office after his first term, pardoning those who attacked the Capitol. He called them real patriots. The height of irony or hypocrisy just flows out of that piece. And you saw the interviewer and the audience, they were enthralled with it because that's their reality. Something wrong with them. That's their reality. They really believe what she said, and that's their reality. And if you show them a videotape or you show them a document that talks about his lies and his bad conduct, they won't hear it. It's a wall. Nope, nope, nope. This is it. What's tragic is 50% of the country, maybe up to 50% of the country, really believe that false rhetoric. And that's really the sad part and the real, the risk of our democracy that is bending right now, but not broken.
Dr. Dominga, I could hear you laughing. What are you thinking right now?
Well, I've been actually talking and posting about this since I saw the clips yesterday, and posted on this today. There's several things. I mean, as it relates to Nicki Minaj, her rhetoric is dangerous, and yeah, she is a rapper, but she's also an influencer in many ways, and people do find themselves listening to her and being educated by her. Shout out to Reese Colbert, posted on her page that she's up there giving Trump all of this praise and didn't say a damn thing about what Trump has been doing to Black women in this country, just
Hmm.
looking at the
Yep.
unemployment numbers alone. And so she sit there and betrayed, Black women. I also find it interesting that as somebody from Trinidad that who condemned Trump for the immigration, the what do you call it, the kids in cages and things, family separation from years ago, condemned them for that. Now she's praising them at the same time that her government is working with Trump against Venezuela, which is a lot of people aren't talking about. So is there something else going on there when you have the highest profile Trinidadian in the United States and the country of Trinidad itself, Trinidad, working with the Trump administration? I think there's a there that
Mm,
people don't fully
mm,
understand. She's also not knowledgeable of what's actually happening in Nigeria with Christians and Muslims. And the last thing I will say is, as it relates to the first part of what you played, MAGA, Turning Point, they are openly Nazi, they are openly racist, and people just need to accept that. When JD Vance says that we're this organized this movement is not throwing anybody out, he's specifically talking about the debate that's happening with Nick Fuentes, who was an avowed white supremacist and anti-Semite, who was on Piers Morgan just last week, throwing out the N-word like it was nothing. They embrace
mm,
everybody now.
mm.
And if people fully accept that, Turning Point as well, that's just where we are today. Ben Shapiro got up there as a Jewish person talking about y'all shouldn't be anti-Semitic, but Ben Shapiro don't care about being racist, anti-trans, and anti-everything else. And so if we accept that at the end of the day, that JD Vance, who Turning Point endorsed for 2028, some people are saying that he wants to leave Usha and marry Erika Kirk so she could be the first lady in 2028. All this not, is going on. I don't know about that. But I do know that Turning Point and MAGA has made it clear that we do not want Black and brown people in this party in any way, shape, or form. And we are going to openly embrace white supremacy and anti-Semites. That's who they are. We got to call them out for what they are. And this conference showed it clearly.
I mean, JD Vance made it very clear you do not have to apologize for being white anymore. Dr. Weaver, in reality, who's been asking white Americans to apologize?
So of course this nation's never come on. When has I mean this I don't even know where to start with that one. No, this nation has never done they haven't even this nation has not even apologized for slavery. Let's just
Mhm.
start there.
That's right.
Okay?
That's
Not
right.
even done that. So of course that's a ridiculous, once again, racist dog whistle. But I have to get on this Nicki Minaj thing. I'm sorry. I have to be petty for a second. She okay, so we know, we know. Let me just be real. She has a thing for what for child molesters. She's married
Yeah.
to one,
Yep.
and now she is sitting up here taking up for another one that's in the White House. Okay,
And her brother too.
be real. Okay, and her brother too. You're right. She has a thing. She apparently thinks that's okay. Also, I also wonder, like you, I'm thinking out what could be her motivation. I am, I'm looking at, the fact that she does not have her citizenship locked down, as far as I
Nope.
know.
Nope.
She is not a U.S. citizen. She also has, I'm understanding, some very, very aggressive tax debt. Like, is she engaged in some sort of quid pro quo? Because here's the thing. We do know that in Trump's has a history of finding Black rappers,
Mhm.
okay,
Mhm.
to go out there and make arguments to muddy the
Mhm.
waters a bit in order to try to get just enough Black support to be able to do something in election time. Okay, we're not in midterms yet, but I think with everything that's going on right now, she makes a very good cover for him, given
Mhm.
the preponderance of overtly racist things that this administration is doing. In addition to his specific vice president, in terms of his racist rhetoric, right there at that very conference.
Mm.
So, what I find that racists oftentimes do is they will do very racist things, but at the same time, they will try to claim that it's not racist because they can find someone like a Clarence Thomas, or in
Mhm.
this case, like a Nicki Minaj, to put out there and say, well, look, see, we're not racist. And she's falling into that trap where she's playing that role either for her own benefit, which very much could be the case, or because being someone who is a felon, being someone who has said that they've gone into dressing rooms where young girls were getting undressed even before we knew all about the whole Epstein fallout that we still haven't gotten to the bottom of. she is someone who has said that all of that now is okay. And in addition to that, she is throwing Black women under the bus specifically with her statements at that.
Mhm.
I mean, she specifically
Mhm.
And
said, Black
presence.
women, why are you so mean to white women? What the hell is she talking about? What is she
Mhm.
talking about? So I have a big problem with Nicki Minaj. And if anybody has been wondering for several years, like me, why she seems to be so venomous. Like if you've looked at a lot of her, Twitter rants and beefs and things that she's had
Mhm.
with other artists over the years, she
Mhm.
just seems to be an empty, hateful person. And
Yeah.
this is just one other example of then why she probably feels so comfortable in that environment that is full of ugly, hateful people
Yeah.
just like her.
They said the quiet part out loud. Black votes are a threat, so they erased them. After the Supreme Court gutted the Voting Rights Act in 2013, Republican legislatures moved fast. New voter ID laws, polling place shutdowns, purges of Black voters from the rolls. Trump's Justice Department didn't stop it, they joined in. In 2018, his DOJ backed Ohio's voter purge system, a scheme that disproportionately erased Black voters. Their goal: erase Black votes and political power. Yeah, that happened. These are the kinds of stories that we cover every day on Roland Martin Unfiltered. Subscribe on YouTube and download the Black Star Network app. Support fact-based independent journalism that centers African Americans and the issues that matter to our community.